to the second part of my episode about Dubai as a perfect stopover. In the first part I showed you what great experiences you can have in Dubai between two flights. Within only a few hours you can see some amazing highlights of the Middle East without spending extra money or extra holidays. Now I'll take you to neighboring Abu Dhabi too, with its great cultural highlights. If you have an extra 6 hours and a car, you can add this excursion to your Dubai adventure, and here we go. When we landed this morning, it was already quite obvious that the air wouldn't be really crisp and you wouldn't have blue skies. So I was thinking what to do first, and I decided not to visit Dubai first, but go right away all the way to Abu Dhabi, because the skyscrapers kind of disappeared in the not smog but like not so clear air. And in Abu Dhabi there's a lot of other things that we can visit, and we don't need to have the far view. So the trip from Dubai to Abu Dhabi takes about 1 hour, depending on where you leave from. If you leave from Marina, Dubai, it's about 1 hour. If you leave from the financial district, it's maybe 1 hour and 20 minutes. There's a lot of nice things to see in Abu Dhabi, and also the highway to go there is quite interesting in my opinion, not because it's so beautiful, but because you just cross desert, and that's an experience too, I would say. So you can do that once, it's not so bad. And well, next stop is Abu Dhabi. However, if you really want to see some big sand desert, you should book a desert excursion with one of the many tour operators in Dubai. Or you cross the sand desert with your rental car going towards Al Ain, where you can visit the old oasis or the big camel market. Poor thing. Or you drive to the mountain oasis town of Hatta, where you can also visit the Hatta Heritage Village, a big beautiful lake with boats, and there's some really great food too. But now back to our drive to Abu Dhabi. By the way, for those who might be worrying, I'm really concentrating on the street. I have the camera running all the way, and I'm cutting the scenes that I need later. And it's also very important to be very clear with your eyes on the street, not only because it's important to stay healthy and not have an accident, but also because there's a lot of speed controls here. So there's like speed control machines all for like every 2-3 kilometers, and the fine is really hefty because you have to pay a minimum of 600 dirhams even if you're just 1 kilometer per hour too fast. And 160 dirham, 600 dirhams, that's 150 euros or $180. So that's something you do only once, I would say. And the speed limit is not really very high. It's 100 kilometers per hour on large highways, and then outside the town is 120, and then there's ridiculously high 140 kilometers per hour just in a short part between Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and that in a country where you have a lot of Lamborghinis and Ferraris on the street. After a bit more than an hour, we are approaching our first highlight of the day, the SHEIKH ZAYED Grand Mosque, which you'll see already from far away, and it's even more beautiful with clear blue winter skies. So here we are at the Grand Mosque, the SHEIKH ZAYED Grand Mosque of Abu Dhabi, and no matter if you're tend towards Islam or not, well, I don't, but I love this beautiful building. It's just such a beautiful piece of art. I mean, a huge building, a huge gem of Islamic art. I would say. It's very new and yet very beautiful, and so this is really a must if you have some time to spend here in the region. You should really see this. Now let's go in. And just approaching the entrance is like being in a big theater with changing perspectives at every step. You're walking under over 80 domes, along walls with artistic Arab calligraphy, and between hundreds of beautifully flower-ornamented columns, all with lots of details. Materials include gold, semi-precious stones, crystals, ceramics, and lots of marble. And then there's this central square of unparalleled beauty. Well, if this is not unbelievable beautiful, I don't know what is. But of course, this is also a working mosque, offering space to over 40,000 worshippers, and you'll hear beautifully sung prayers throughout the day. In the main prayer hall, you'll find of course more record holders, such as the world's largest carpet made in Iran by over 1,200 carpet knotters and measuring over 5,000 square meters or 60,000 square feet, weighing over 35 tons. And you'll see the world's third largest chandelier made in Germany. But all these records really don't matter at all, because the overall beauty of this building is just way beyond such numbers. And especially at night, you have just the most beautiful views all over the columns and the little halls and little courtyards later. So I'm gonna show you some pictures now of a night visit. You see, at night the mosque is changing again to an even more striking dream from 1001 Nights, with perfect illumination and the pools reflecting the building, and the whole ensemble is simply breathtaking. I promise you won't forget this your whole life, and again, no matter what religion you tend to, this is one of the buildings on earth you will always remember as a special gem and a magical place. So we will move on now to the next site of Abu Dhabi, and then we go on to Dubai. To add that actually this visitors entrance is endless walking. I don't know why they did that. You walk forever and kind of round the whole territory to get there. However, there's air conditioning, and I don't know if I'm happy now to walk so long, because I'm cooling down here. My white shirt that I like so much was almost see-through. That's also a reason why I stopped a little after a short while. And cooled down with some great memories, we are leaving this religious and artistic highlight for a worldly place, the Emirates Palace Hotel. Winter time is concert and opera time, and you'll see many times women dressed in beautiful little dresses just running quickly over the street to reach the next warm, heated house, opera house or concert hall. Well, here in Dubai it's really the opposite. Also here people go over the street pretty fast, but not to get into another warm house, but really to get out of the heat and into another air-conditioned house, because it's so incredibly hot. It's just unbelievable, and you can only imagine how hot it is when you are here. Because even when I go out of the house after a whole day in the air condition, first thing I do is I have to laugh, because it's so unbelievably hot that the only thing I react with is to laugh. It's so crazy hot. The Emirates Palace Hotel is one of the most luxurious hotels in the world. Almost half a mile long, it's also one of the biggest and yet exclusive, with only 390 residences, including the 6 ruler suites reserved for royalty and the ruling families of the United Arab Emirates only. More or less the whole outside of this impressive building is made of real granite. Inside we have lots and lots of marble, mosaics and gold, not only in the central foyer with beautiful crystal balcony balustrades, but also in the several inside courtyards and grand staircases, along with rather large details such as exquisite carpets and beautiful crystal lamps and chandeliers. There are several top-level cafes and restaurants, and also here counts the same rule: everything that looks golden is actually gold here, and you can even have coffee and ice cream with real gold. If you want to spend a night here, you get a nice room, of course, even though with all the fantastic hotels around, I would have expected something even more beautiful. But all guests have private butler service and access to the beautiful wings of the hotel, with so many corners to explore. Breakfast is exquisite and yet not too posh. The actual highlight though is the access to the hotel's seaside, with a spectacular landscaped pool area with waterfalls and streaming channels, and the water here is chilled and almost a refreshment in summer. And there's also an almost 1 mile long private beach with the most perfect white sand, no people and only the real palace Qasr al-Watan as neighbor. However, as beautiful as it looks, in summer it's way too hot to access the water. In winter it's all perfect. However, this is not a hotel review but our stopover in the United Arab Emirates, and therefore we're leaving this stunning landmark already to reach our third highlight of this town, the Louvre Abu Dhabi. By the way, the neighboring Qasr al-Watan Palace is open to the public since 2019, and if you have some extra time, it's really worth visiting too. Well, of course, the Emirates Palace Hotel is one of those hotels that you call the hotel of hotels. Only a few hotels in Abu Dhabi have beaches, and they're great in wintertime, protected from high waves by an artificial offshore island. However, for the real beach experience, I'd go to the wide beaches of Saadiyat Island, just outside the city, with fine white sand and an open sea. There's a big public beach too, and there's great hotels for a stop overnight. It's better than the Corniche beaches, but still too hot in summer. But that part, Corniche and Emirates Palace Hotel beach, are so hot that it's just impossible to swim. You feel like being boiled in salt water. So that's like a hot jacuzzi, a salty hot jacuzzi, and then much hotter than that. And we take a little break at the gas station. Well, that's not so special, I know that, but they have prayer rooms here for men and for women. And the heat is just breathtakingly unbearable and just crazy hot. Now our next stop is gonna be Louvre Abu Dhabi. Now, in the past there weren't really many museums over here, but then they found out that that's really what they need, and they really did. And of course they built the most beautiful museum, or a contemporary museum you could ever imagine. Built just by the sea, and a really stunning piece of architecture, and of course a very beautiful collection inside. White is the dominating color of the Louvre Abu Dhabi, and it's such a beautiful mix. The white color of this ensemble and blue color of the sea in the background, and again more white over there, and then the play with the shadow. It's really wonderful. And of course, if you have 24 hours in Dubai, you cannot do everything. You cannot see all Abu Dhabi and all Dubai and also the Louvre. Then you have to make a decision. I can only say this is worth it. But many other things are too, so you still have to make the decision. I don't want to show the specific artworks here in picture, but I'm showing some impressions of the museum's spectacular interior with 55 cubic houses covered by a roof of 8,000 metal stars. The collection honors sacred and secular art of all cultures and periods, and it includes some of the greatest artworks of humanity. The whole ensemble and the play of water, light and shadow guarantees a unique experience. And with these impressions of Louvre Abu Dhabi, we say goodbye to Abu Dhabi and go on to Dubai. We still have half the day left. Of course, we will not see everything of Dubai, but in half a day you can still see quite a lot. at least for the first time. And depending on when your flight is, you have maybe even more than half the day still left. So let's go to Dubai and enjoy some of the highlights over there. Driving time from the Louvre Abu Dhabi to Dubai Marina is about 60 minutes, and on our way we can look forward to more highlights over there. Now check back to my film about Dubai as a stopover and find out which of the highlights you want to see. If you arrive there at say 3 p.m. and your onward flight is around midnight or a little later, you can still see Dubai Marina, JBR Beach, the Burj Al Arab, the Mall of the Emirates and the Burj Khalifa with the dancing fountains for a beautiful grand finale to your stopover adventure. Or you could just visit Burj Khalifa and then join a desert excursion with dinner in the dunes. There's so many options, and I suggest no matter what you choose, just give it a try. You can only win. Have a great trip and subscribe for many more interesting and entertaining reports over here. There's always stories to tell. See you again very soon on my channel. Travel, sing, fly.